I don't know how to describe it. He's just an awesome human being. You know what I mean? And I would love to talk about how, he came into my world when I had 2 kids, and took them on, and then we had our 2, and now what's our life like now, right? I mean, now it's just the 2 of us. Most of the time, too, when you look, you think you want someone like yourself. Well, and you don't need anybody like yourself, because that's the worst person. Chris is the polar opposite. I mean, he's just like, yeah, no, you go, have a great time, which is really weird today, because today he's like, a bunch of people are going here for drinks after work. Why don't you come meet me? And I'm like, what is going on? Like, we're both like changing. I want to go to bed and he wants to go out. I think people would find it very interesting because he's not outgoing, and if he did it, he would just talk with me about life. And a lot of people, like my kids, will say, well, you guys aren't normal, and I never understand that. But that's kind of what they think. People who get along and who really enjoy each other and don't talk horrible to each other. I don't even know, I don't know where or why that has come into. My kids never saw anything like that. I've heard it from more than 2 of the 4. Mom, well, you guys just aren't normal. And I'm like, okay, what part of us isn't normal? I'm assuming you're gonna say Dad's not normal, because I am normal. But you know what I mean? Like, they just think we're an anomaly, and that's sad. Very hard. I think that's sad. Or maybe I'll ask them before our next filming, like, why did they say that? Yeah. Oh, that would be fun. Oh, they'll be thrilled to tell you about me. They wanted me to do this whole thing. This is their idea. Yeah.
What did they see?
Well, I think they find it interesting that when I post something, or, if I like something, it feels like a lot of people tend to follow, and I think they thought that this would be like something like that. So I think, plus they think I'm funny. Like, they make fun of me all the time. They really do. I think they think it's cool, then they think that I've achieved, I think they're proud of me too. I think they think I've done a good job. I hope. But it would be interesting to hear from each of their perspectives, because we made some mistakes, there's no question. I left Armani. Literally, it was his birthday the next day, and we were at the middle school, and I was the PTA president, and we had this huge event with all the police, the fire department. It was just a big, huge community event. And I'm running out of the middle school because I've got to go and buy his birthday party invitations or something for the birthday party. I am all the way from Osceola Middle School to Tyrone in the store buying whatever I need to buy, and my phone rings. Laurelyn, are you missing anything? I'm like, what do you mean? And I'm like, oh my God, Armani. I totally left that kid at the school. It was nighttime. And it was the assistant principal who, I love her, we became awesome friends. She said she goes into the gym, and there's this kid, and he's like, hey, do you have a basketball? And she's like, what are you doing here? Because he wasn't the one in middle school, he was in elementary school. And he goes, oh, I'm waiting for my mom, she's the president. And she goes, Laura Lynn, because she knew Jake, my older one, and he goes, yeah. And she goes, honey, she left a long time ago. That kid would have been locked in that school like home alone, and I may not have known it until it's terrible. But that when you have 4, you have to relate. It gets a little crazy. And then another time, they will make fun of me till there's no tomorrow. Another time, we had my best friend's daughter and our 2 daughters, and Mallory was spending the night. So we get out of the van, we unload everybody, we put them to bed, we go to bed. This is terrible. But literally 911 could be called on me. And my husband, in our room had a balcony facing the front of the house. And about 1 or 2 in the morning, I hear rocks being thrown at the window. And I'm like, I go outside and I yell, Jake, because I thought it was our oldest, who was a teenager and got locked out or whatever. And it's like, she's like, Mom, it's Abby. You left me in the car. She was sleeping in the car, and we thought, I don't know what we thought. We took 2 kids up, we have 2 girls, they were going to bed, but it was my best friend's daughter and Grace, not Abby. We left her in the car all night. So she's so resourceful, she's freaking throwing rocks at the window to get us awake. If it were Grace, my youngest, she would have called 911, fire department, the world would have been there to rescue her. She would have probably had a heart attack. But Abby's just like, oh geez, they locked me out. That's bad, right? That's real bad. I think so. I think it's real world. If people say that these things don't happen, they're lying, because they happen. And it couldn't have happened to a better one of my 4 children, because she's the only one that remained calm would have been resourceful to throw rocks at our window. But like, I don't know what it is. Armani's been lost and left a lot of times. Like, it's just pure, and I don't know how that happens because he was the wild one. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know how that happens, but he just was always, I was getting my nails done at the mall, and Chris is like, well, I've already described him, like super like on it. Everything is got to order and it's great. I'm getting my nails done. He's like, I'm gonna go get some ice cream with Armani. Next thing I know, which was across the mall, next thing I know, Chris comes running up to me at the mall and he's like, I can't find Armani. And I'm like, what? He was like 4. So we are freaking out running through the mall, and miraculously my brother, who I can probably count on 2 hands the number of times he's been to a mall in his life. He's 60, 65. I mean, he never goes to the mall. And he says he's sitting in the middle of the mall and he's like, Armani? And he goes, hey, Uncle Eugene. He's like, what are you doing? And he goes, dude, where's your mom? Where's your dad? And he goes, I don't know. One minute I was walking behind my dad, and the next minute I look up, he's gone. And so we find him, and we're so grateful that we found him. And I'm like, honey, what would you do if you didn't see Uncle Eugene? Seriously. And he goes, duh, I would have found the guy who owns this place. And I was like, how would you know? He goes, he'd have a uniform on. This is like from a 4-year-old. So he obviously didn't get too scarred. But in this world, that's scary. You know what I mean? Like, but you know, the kids are 37 to 23. Like it wasn't as bad to where you would have at, but you still freaked out. You still worried. But then you look back and you think, when we were younger, I didn't have a cell phone. You had to have a dime or a quarter, depending upon what year it was, to call. You had a map. You didn't have GPS or anything like that, but it wasn't bad. It was just different, which is sad.
You didn't have.
Yeah, I don't know. I think, listen, when I meet, like, even my son and his little boy, like, different raising them. Like, she makes decisions on, what he watches, what he sees, and I totally get it because I didn't have to contend with social media and stuff like that with my kids. Now, we had our computer in the middle of the family room, and when we got computers and they did everything right in front of us because we didn't let them have iPads or laptops or stuff like that, but it still wasn't like it is today. Chris and our, both sets of our parents, the oldest was 67 or 68 when they passed. So like, it was us, but we had a village. You know what I mean? Like we had friends, we had siblings, we had church, we had people, and we sent our kids to, fortunately for us, a small private school where it was like everybody knew everybody's business. Now my kids will probably tell you when we interview them that was a detriment. Like there's things about it they definitely didn't like. But looking back, I think it was the right thing to do. Elementary was fine. Like I could have done elementary with all 4 of them in a public school system because it was different. But the second we got into middle school, it's like all parents were hands off. And we're like, do what you want to do. They didn't start school till 9:40, so parents were already at work. They got out at 4:30, so parents weren't home yet. So whatever they wore, whatever they took, they didn't know. But literally same parents, same community, just completely hands off once the kids were older. So that's when we decided we gotta make a decision. I couldn't homeschool. That wasn't really that big of a thing then. And I was working, so I couldn't. But they also played sports. All of them were in something, which was, I think, good. But today, I don't know. I don't say a lot to parents with little ones because I don't know. I truly don't. I don't know what I would do.